Hey guys, this is Nirmal here for Technique, and today we're going to do a detailed comparison of two budget smartphones, the Lenovo A6000 and the Lava Iris X8, which is a flagship phone for Lava. So these two smartphones are priced below the rupees 10k price range. The Lenovo A6000 is priced 6,999 while the Lava Iris X8 is priced 8,999. And we'll have a look at the details of this device. We'll compare these two devices for this design, the build quality, the software, the camera and the battery life. So let's get started. So before that, let's go into the specs of these two devices. So first up, we'll see the Lenovo A6000. So this is the device which was announced at the CES 2015, and later on it was announced in India. So it's a budget 4G LTE enabled device in India. So it has a 5-inch HD display. It's powered by Snapdragon 410 quad-core processor with 1GB RAM and 8GB internal storage, and it has Android 4.4 KitKat, and on top of that it has the Lenovo's custom Vibe UI. On the camera front, it has an 8-megapixel rear camera, front facing 2-megapixel camera, and it runs, as I said before, Android 4.4 with a custom UI. So that's the spec aspect of the Lenovo Vibe X2. Now moving on to the Iris X8. So this was announced couple of days back, and this is the flagship phone for the company. It is priced 8,999 and it has a 5-inch HD display, and it's powered by octa-core processor from MediaTek with 2GB RAM and 16GB internal storage, and it again runs Android 4.4 KitKat, and it is upgradable to Android Lollipop. On the camera front, it has an 8-megapixel rear camera with a dual LED flash and a front-facing 3-megapixel camera along with a 2500 mAh battery. So that is the spec aspect of these two devices. Now let's get into the detailed comparison. So let's first analyze the design and build quality of these two smartphones. So design and build quality wise, these two devices are entirely different. While Lenovo has employed a very slim design with a matte finish back panel, you have all the set of options like the power volume key, the micro USB, the 3.5mm audio jack, and it looks pretty good. It's pretty light in weight as well. There is 3 capacitive touch buttons, and the overall build quality looks really good. You can see there is a chrome finish around the camera as well. So for a 5-inch device, this is pretty easy to use. It's really compact and also lightweight. Now moving on to the Lava Iris X8, it has a totally different design when compared to the A6000. You can see there is a silver finish around the corners, and you can see this has a uniform thickness and resembles more or less like the iPhone. It is again has a matte finish rear panel. Again, the quality looks really good. There is a chrome finish around the camera. Even the buttons have a silver finish, and there is 3.5mm audio jack and the micro USB charging slot. So using the device, we would say the Lenovo A6000 is easier because it's lightweight and also slimmer than the Lava Iris X8. Now build quality wise, both these devices have excellent build quality for a budget smartphone. So there is no real winner here. Each of these devices are good in their design and build quality. Now moving on to the display. Both these devices have the 5-inch HD display, the IPS LCD display, and you can see the display is pretty good on these two devices. The display on both these devices are really good. You can see the viewing angles are pretty good, and even the colors look really good. But there is a slight issue with the Lenovo's HD display. It's kind of sticky and not really that smooth when compared to the Lava Iris X8. But it's not really a big issue, but still it's not really as smooth as the Lava Iris X8. But overall the quality looks pretty good. Now the Lava Iris X8 has a really smooth display. You can see it's much better than the A6000 in terms of the touch response, but the overall quality on these two displays are pretty good. Even though both the displays are really good, we would choose the Lava Iris X8 because the touch response is slightly better on the Iris X8 when compared to the Lenovo A6000. Now moving on to the software and performance, both these devices as of now runs Android 4.4 KitKat, and both are upgradable to Android Lollipop, that is 5.0. But there is no time frame mentioned for either of these devices that when it will come. Lenovo has announced that it will be in second quarter of 2015, but Lava hasn't made any such announcement. But probably all these two devices will get the Android Lollipop update. The Lenovo A6000 has a custom UI. This is the Vibe UI, which is almost similar to what we found on the Vibe X2, but this is stripped down variant of the Vibe UI. You can see the notification center is also customized, it's the UI, you can see the settings, UI, everything is customized, and looks pretty good. It's fast, and it's simple to use, but there is no app drawer, and it has multiple home screen. So if you are used to app drawer, you might find this UI a bit confusing. But having said that, you can also install third-party launchers like the Google Now or other launcher, and then get the app drawer. Now moving on to the UI on the Lava Iris X8, it's more or less like the stock Android, nothing much customized. It's a plain simple Android 4.4 UI. You can see that the notification center looks exactly similar to what we have on other normal Android phones. So there isn't much of an excitement over this UI, but it's a plain and simple UI. So if you love the stock Android experience, you would be more comfortable with the Lava Iris X8. But if you love customized UI and also ROMs, you might like the Lenovo A6000's Vibe UI. But having said that, both these UI exhibit really great performance. There was no lag and no issues in this UI. Now in the performance aspect, both these devices are really good performers. There was no lag in either of these devices, while the Lenovo A6000 is powered by Snapdragon 410 processor with 1GB RAM. The Lava Iris X8 comes with the octa-core processor with 2GB RAM, and both these devices have excellent gaming abilities as well. For this price, this is really good gaming abilities, but for the display on the device, we would slightly be inclined to choose the Lava Iris X8 in terms of the gaming performance, because there was no lag and the display was really beautiful as well. But the Lenovo A6000 is not far behind. It also has really good gaming capabilities for a device in rupees 6,999 price range, and offers good overall performance. Now let's move on to the camera aspect of these two smartphones. So the Lenovo A6000 has a 8 megapixel rear camera, so you can see the camera interface. So this is the camera interface. As we said in our camera review, this interface is not really easy to use. It's half screen and a bit of a difficult task to use this UI. Although the settings are offered in different tabs, this is not an user-friendly UI, but the camera sample is really good. You can see we already uploaded and reviewed the camera on the Lenovo A6000 and found it to be really good camera in this price point. The only disadvantage of this camera is the flash, which was not really capable and didn't have the real good depth in while shooting in low light capabilities. But overall, this device has a really good camera, and the 8 megapixel camera is pretty decent performer. Now moving on to the Lava Iris X8, it again sports an 8 megapixel camera according to the specs, but when we tested the camera, we found that it has a 10 megapixel camera, and again the camera interface is not really user friendly. You have options on the top, the bottom, then you have half of the settings from here, so it's not a very user friendly camera. But then again, it does offer almost all features, and the performance of camera was not that good when compared to the Lenovo A6000. The colors were a lot washed out in the Iris X8, but one good thing about the Lava Iris X8 is that the dual flash works really well and is much better than the single flash on the Lenovo A6000. So in the camera aspect, we would choose the Lenovo A6000 above the Lava Iris X8 because of the slightly better daylight performance, and the colors also looks much better than the Iris X8. Now moving on to the battery performance, both these devices have almost similar battery capacity. The A6000 has a 2300 mAh battery, while the Lava Iris X8 has a 2500 mAh battery. So there is a slight capacity difference between these two devices, but the overall battery performance of these two devices are really good. You can get 1 day of usage easily with casual usage like social networking, gaming, a bit of gaming, music, and things like that. So battery performance on either of these devices is really good, and it does get you 1 day of usage on both these devices with average usage. So that was the battery performance. Now summing up, which is the better device to choose from? We already talked about the display, the build quality, the software and performance, and the camera, and also the battery life. So we'll list out the pros and cons of these two devices. So the Lenovo A6000 has pretty good design, but the display was not that good. The software and experience is good, and it will obviously get the Lollipop update, and you can also see that the gaming performance was slightly laggy, but there was not really big issue, but slight lag was there, and here and there the 1GB RAM might have issues if you're running too many apps, but otherwise this is a really good device, and the camera is really good, but the low light abilities and the flash was disappointing. Again, the battery life is pretty good on this device. Now with the Lava Iris X8, the display is really good. It's really vibrant, and also the touch response is good. Now the design is also pretty it's not unique, but it's pretty good. The quality of materials used is also good, but the software and experience was not that good. It's stock Android, nothing much to offer. But again, it has the Lollipop update coming up, and the camera was slightly disappointing because the daylight shots were pretty dull and washed out. The camera has good aspect in terms of the dual LED flash, which was really powerful, and the battery capacity was overall good. Now there is a 2K price difference between these two devices. The Lenovo A6000 is priced 6,999, while the Iris X8 is priced 8,999. Probably if you're on a tight budget, the Lenovo A6000 makes a much better choice, because you get lots of features, and also there is 4G LTE available on this device, but that does not happen on the Lava Iris X8. For the additional 2K you spend on the Lava Iris X8, you get 2 gigs of RAM, there is 16 gigs of internal storage, while you have only 8 gigabytes on the Lenovo A6000, and also slightly better display and battery. So both these devices are really good in performance and overall aspect. So it's up to you to decide which is better, because based on your priorities you can choose these devices. If it is a budget, you choose the Lenovo A6000. If camera is your priority, again Lenovo A6000 is better choice. If you want more power and more performance, probably the Lava Iris X8 makes sense. So that was a detailed comparison of these two devices. Hope you liked this video. If you have any questions, just drop a comment and we'll be glad to help you out with your queries. If you like this video, do hit the like button and also subscribe to our YouTube channel for more videos. Thanks for watching this video. Have a great day.